Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead tarot scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Scorpio, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. With that said, before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your key to the week this week is the Death card. This is your card. So yes, this is a week of endings, completions, culminations, but more importantly, this is a week where your phoenix cry is going to be heard loud and clear. This is about you rebirthing, recharging in some way, shape or form. So this is about you getting ready to sort of evolve beyond, or at least emerge from, the cocoon that you have been in up until this point. So really, in a lot of ways, this is you releasing an old iteration of self. There is a change point coming up this week, and I kind of feel like this is a consciously led one. So it does appear that there's something that you're removing, releasing or letting go of that is going to allow a much more powerful sense of freedom that comes in this week. The other thing that I like with the Death card, specifically for Scorpios actually as well, is this could very well be a week where you admit a very deep taboo to yourself. Maybe there's something that you've decided that you want. Maybe it goes against, what you said previously. So this could be, and when I say taboo, it doesn't always have to be like, the darkest thing that you can imagine. As an example, let's say you're 42 and you decide, actually, you know what, now at this age, I've decided I want to be a parent. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, by societal standards, that's taboo, but whatever. Anyway, that being said, this is a week, right? If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. For your actions and options this week, you got the 7 of Wands. So this actually suggests that this week there's a battle that you've been fighting on the internal that this week you are choosing to let go of. There's something here that suggests that you are freeing yourself this week of an old thought pattern, an old process, maybe some familial history that has, we've all got it at this point, right? I remember reading something that said, at this point, it's like we've all got knocks, scrapes and scuffs. It's just deciding which one we're willing to give a little shine and a buff up and take home with us. Dating in your late 30s. So I was like, yeah, perfect. All jokes aside, this is you releasing or letting go of something that you've been fighting with yourself on for a while. And this may be something that's very deeply ingrained. Another way that this could show up as well, if for any of you that have had, I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice, but for those of you that have had immune system problems specifically, this could be a week where you discover something or you find something that brings that to an end, or at least gets you to a place where you understand something at a much deeper level. For your communications and conversations, you've got the 3 of Wands with the Death card. I mean, it's a really interesting mix, to be fair. So your communications this week are expansive and growthful, but you've got this with the Death card, which suggests that you're trying to resurrect an old idea. So something that you've maybe done before, something that you wanted to do previously, or maybe something that just kind of fizzled out. It's like you're bringing it back to life. You're giving it a fresh sort of, and it's coming back into being. This also suggests as well, for plans that have been in the background or have been lagging in some way, you're breathing new life into those. So this could be really exciting. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, I would be on the lookout for who like, really, the feeling that I get from this is not a week to go it alone. So if you're studying, even if it's a subject that's not necessarily like a group endeavor, this is still a really good time to think about outsourcing something, or at least getting an outside or maybe even an inside perspective on something. It's almost like at the moment you're at a standstill with what you're studying or the way that you're studying, and you need to do something to kind of zhuzh it up. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, honestly, this is one of those weeks where you're likely to be staring out of the window like, there's got to be something else out there for me. There may very well be. However, because it is the Three of Wands and it is the Death card, this would be a really good time to think about surveying the land of the future. Look at the way the world is at the moment. Is it really wise to make a big move at this moment in time when it comes to the career? Only you can decide that, but this might be a time to really consider. I mean, yes, you're doing the whole Phoenix thing that you're really known for, but even still, for those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, again, this is resurrecting some service, bringing something back into the fold. This is maybe connecting with people that you've worked with before. This is maybe reigniting a spark of passion that you have for a specific service or product, or maybe even a demographic that you have maybe fallen, by the wayside for or with. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, honestly, I feel like this is some kind of journey, some kind of travel or trip that you were really excited about. It may not go ahead. If it's planned for this week, it may not go ahead. It might be delayed, but you will have to see. For your love and relations, you've got the Two of Swords. Excuse me. The Two of Swords can sometimes be the energy of opposition. And you've got this here with the Seven of Wands. So this thing that you've been fighting with yourself over, it could potentially, doesn't have to, but it could potentially leak into a relationship. And because you've got this Three of Wands here, it's like plans that you have with a partner, you're having to relook at them, or maybe you're considering here that maybe your ideas of what the final finished product looks like are now starting to differ. And so obviously if that is the case, then you're going to have to change some of the journey steps as well. With the Death card in tow, look, I mean, it's the Two of Swords. For me, this is like, I almost feel like this is the ghosts of relationships past. And so I just want to say to you, like, when it comes to relationships this week, don't let echoes of the past get involved in current relationships. For those of you that are single, quite frankly, you may have options this week. There might be one or two to choose from, so that could be good. For your money and materials, you've got the Knight of Wands. So there's a lot of fire here. Fire is all about action. So the Knight of Wands I love for things like overtime, for extra clientele coming in. You've got this with the Death card though, which means you are having to change something in order for the money to improve and for the busyness to really start to yield fruit. You may need to start again either outsourcing something or start thinking bigger or broader. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, I like the Knight of Wands for health and vitality. For those of you that haven't been able to be as active as you would like, this could be a week where you start to feel like you're getting your mojo back a bit. When it comes to your home and environment, I mean, you've got two travel cards here, but that Death card basically says you're not going anywhere. So whatever travel plans you have, this would be a good week to adjust or adapt them, because it looks like in some way, shape or form you may be grounded. With that said, not in the traditional sense, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.